Hello, Matt.
Hey
How are
there.
you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to give people probably know who you are, but can you give us a brief introduction and a sort of short version of your career in gaming?
I'm Matthew Sprange. I'm the current owner of Mongoose Publishing, which publishes the Traveller, Paranoia, and Sea of Thieves RPGs, and Shield Maidens as well now. I've been doing this for a little bit more than 2 decades. Here's to at least 2 decades more.
Yeah, succinct. Good. It's a question I'm always curious about, and I always ask people if I find myself in this sort of position. So, how did you get into gaming in the first place?
Gaming itself was at primary school. We had the Lone Wolf and Fighting Fantasy game books. In the summer holidays between that and secondary school, I picked up the red box basic D&D and never looked back.
That's a similar story to mine, apart from D&D. I didn't start with D&D, but with the Fighting Fantasy leading people into gaming. And do you find that to be a common story amongst other people you work with from the UK?
Of the same age, yes.
Yeah.
If you talk the 80s, yeah. But we got people in the office now in their 20s that they don't know what a solo game book is. They're coming from the likes of Dark Souls and GTA and what have you. They find tabletop RPGs typically at university, in one case here. So yeah, it's a different progression these days.
Yeah, I talk with Dave Morris quite a bit of Dragon Warriors and various solo game books. He still does okay with the game books as well as his more conventional RPG stuff. And it's been interesting. There's been a sort of a trend towards solo gaming, which isn't exactly game books, but just using random tables to guide yourself through an adventure, almost games mastering for yourself. I'm not sure I'm into it, but it's an interesting trend. It seems peculiar.
We've looked at doing a book called Solo Traveller, because Traveller is effectively constructed from a whole bunch of mini game systems anyway. So it is kind of a natural fit for that, but we just haven't found the time and the right approach yet. So on the cards, maybe you'll see it in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that's one of the arguments someone brought up when I was talking about solo games, about how Traveller was made up of those mini games.
Yeah,
like creating a starship, or harking back to Fire Fusion and Steel, creating anything, or creating a planet, or taking your character through their career paths. These were all sort of mini games within the main one.
Indeed.
I thought that was an interesting way to look at it.